Hi, my name's Jamie Pitchforth and I am Head of Strategic Business at Juniper Networks here in the UK. I'm delighted to have Neil Holden, the Chief Information Officer from Halfords, with me today.
Hi, Jamie.
Climate change or change in business dynamics is going crazy across all of our customers at the moment. Just coming here today and seeing the new Halfords, the Halfords of the future is very exciting. How is that change affecting you with your customers, but also how is that changing you in terms of your investment for your new network infrastructure? What's different?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the store that you're in today and the environment that you see was a concept pre-pandemic. So this was designed 2018, probably into 2019. And obviously we had a big world event that kind of interrupted our plans through that process. So we did have to kind of rethink during pandemic and post-pandemic of what still stands from this. So are the investments still credible? Do we need to kind of pull back on one and maybe do a bit more with another? And clearly what the pandemic showed us is that online shopping and customers' sort of openness to digital technology increased exponentially. It has normalised a little bit now, so as I'm sure you've probably seen from your other clients as well. But we really wanted to embrace that opportunity of there's another digital boom here off the back of a bad crisis, but we wanted to not waste the crisis for Halfords and kind of make use of that. So a lot of our investment went online in terms of digital experience, in terms of the products and services we're offering and how we curated those online. But what we quickly realised was as customers came back into stores and garages physically, that digital stickiness was kind of still there.
Yeah.
So we wanted to find a way to bridge the digital experiences that we'd created with the physical environment. And the investments that we're now making in networks really lay the foundations for all of that enablement to start to come through. Mm-hmm. We've developed apps, we bought new devices. Now we're bringing all of that together with the network in a number of our stores and garages. We're mid rollout at the moment. And for customers, it's just such a different experience than they're used to with Halfords. And we're getting some great feedback.
So I know that when you started that process sort of pre-pandemic, you looked at a lot of diligence, looking at all the different vendors, probably an extended diligence period because of what happened with the pandemic. But coming out of that, you chose Juniper.
Yeah.
Why?
A number of reasons. I don't think I could just say one. The process was more extended than we'd have liked it to be, but as you say, we started pre-pandemic and then that was all interrupted. What it did do though was give us a real opportunity to, because we had a proof of concept running with Juniper, is to run it in real terms. In fact, this is the location that trial was ran in. So we had over a year of day-to-day experience of the network being active here. So that was great for us because we could put your promises to proper test.
Absolutely. Well, there's two sides to that story. You've got the sort of internal operational side and then the customer experience side. So what feedback have you had from, your colleagues internally in terms of the adoption and the operation of the new infrastructure?
Quite honestly, they've said it's game-changing, which isn't a word I think we should use too lightly. Our ability to then deliver technology into our colleagues' hands and for them to have confidence that I have something here which enables me to do my job better is game-changing. Colleagues are really excited about, not only do they then have that utility that I talked about before, but we've introduced some applications. There are more to come. So they're looking at what they've got so far and thinking, this is incredible, this is amazing, I can now do these things. And not only can the colleague do them to a better standard, but the customer sees that as well, gets confidence in what we're doing, and then a trust relationship starts to build, which particularly with services and particularly with motoring services, trust is a really big part of what we're trying to build with customers, because inherently it's an industry where there's a lack of trust due to lack of knowledge. So if we can get that consistency in information through devices and the applications and the network we now have, that's a real game changer.
And how about on the customer side? I mean, obviously it's relatively early doors in terms of delivering new customer services, but how do you see that evolving and how do you see the customer experience changing in terms of digital engagement over the next 2, 3, 4 years?
It's a huge part of our strategy. We've talked publicly about this before in terms of our digital transformation and the journey that we've been on. We are partway through, so we're by no means done. In fact, I'd say we're more at the start than at the end, which is great because we've got all that potential still to come.
So that personalised experience is key to you moving forward.
That is exactly where we're going. The personalised, kind of curated experience for you specifically. Our loyalty club, the industry first loyalty club, gives us a great platform to also talk to our VIP clients about our VIP customers, about the specific needs that they have. And that personalisation is really something I think Halfords customers will greatly benefit from. Again, in an industry where that is just been lacking in the past.
So in terms of, the crystal ball, what does the future look like? From your perspective, what are the kind of key priorities where you think or you understand that this technology is really going to make a difference to the organisation as a whole? What would be your sort of number one priority you want to achieve?
So a big objective for us as a business is to connect all of our assets across our full estate, whether that be the 390-ish retail stores, the over 600 garages, the over 700 vans, whether that be B2B or B2C. So if you translate that into real terms, in this town that we're in today, we have a retail store, we have a garage, and we have vans which service this area. The network is a cornerstone part of the connectivity of each of those assets and how we communicate between those assets in terms of the jobs that we have to do, the customers that we have to serve, and the way that customers enter into our ecosystem and then can see all of the breadth and depth of our products and services and can access them seamlessly and with one identity, and we talk to you across all of that plethora of services as you as an individual. I get quite excited about this because it's the real it's the real kind of skill of Halfords, and the reason we're a market leader is that if we can really make all of that work, which we are, and we're starting to do that, I think the future is incredibly exciting.
So if you had a message for the other CIOs that are about to go on their journey, about to evaluate the market, what would be the key message that you would tell them, having gone through that process yourself?
As any CIO would say, and I do talk to many of my peers, it's really, really key to understand your business, and not just from a technical point of view, what it is you think you need. Yes, we had out-of-date hardware, and yes, they just needed to be replaced. But if that was our only requirement that we went to market with, well, pick anyone sort of thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We really need to understand our business and the direction of the business. And that's obviously unique and specific to whichever business that you're operating in. What I would say is to be very open, work with partners as we did with Connected ID, work with the vendor themselves as well, because I know some organisations tend to want to do one or the other. I'm not sure that works particularly well. I think having a transparency about this is what we're here to do, this is what our business is about, these are our specific requirements, and clearly commercially there'll be specifics around that as well. But transparency, openness, and then drive it as hard as you can.
No, absolutely.
Maybe not trial it for over a year, unless you really need to.
Absolutely. But the foundational pieces are in play. The future looks very bright for Halfords, very exciting. You've now got that platform where you can innovate and drive forward. So congratulations on that. I'd like to say a big thank you for taking the time out to meet with us and spend some time with us today. This is truly impressive in terms of how Halfords are evolving and developing. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamie.